These mushrooms make you feel.
I got an ad. Happy Sunday. How's everyone doing? Sorry, I'm eating grapes right now. Could you hear it? Yo. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome into the stream. Hi, Ellie. Yeah, I'm doing good. Panda is asleep right now. Again, he's old, so he's always sleeping. But yeah, you know, not much change on him. Welcome into the stream. Hi, my name is Ren/Tree, if you don't already know. But if you're here at this current time, then you probably do know because, well, you're followed probably if you're here 2 minutes into the stream. So yeah, appreciate that too. Currently chewing on some grapes right now. Hi. Welcome in. Yes. Let me shit up. Yeah, another slow day, not much going on. You know how it is. It's like currently for me, it's about to be 1 a.m. I think it's 12:48, so it's past midnight. So yeah, very late. Not really much planned. I was gonna do more Stardew Valley today, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, not really feeling the Stardew Valley today. A little bit tired on that. Also, I just accidentally closed everything. I didn't mean to do that, my bad. Why is my alerts? Oh, there we go. That fixed it, actually. I was wondering why some of my stuff was not showing up on screen. But yeah. Not doing too much tonight, so maybe just chatting for a little bit. I didn't really have much planned out since it was kind of slow. It's like one of those nights where like I just got done hanging out with friends. We were playing some games together. Would have streamed it, but I just don't really like streaming whenever I play games with my friends that aren't streamers because like I don't like to complicate things with people who like don't really know much about streaming, right? And I don't want to like stream, especially if they're talking about more like sensitive things. Just kind of helps out with that. But as you can see by the stream title, today we are, well, the one topic that I wanted to talk about today was, I think is an interesting story that I don't think I've told on stream yet because it happened during the period where I wasn't streaming. It was like a pretty interesting kind of event, you know, how I almost got during my trip to Florida, because I went to Florida for a trip. It's like, yeah, very interesting. You respect their private life. Yeah, you know, they have privacy and I don't want to intrude on that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk, like, kind of have an interesting topic today to talk about. And so I just wanted to talk about something which was going to be kind of what happened during one of my trips in the summer with my friends. And it was going to be like an interesting kind of thing. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about that. Obviously, since I'm here, nothing bad actually happened, which is good, which is really, really good. But it could have went pretty south, which, you know, obviously would not have been good. It's one of those things, right? But yeah, you know, it's an interesting story, I think. Honestly, a lot more. I think I'm very like nonchalant about it now, but during the time it was like super crazy. Because, you know, it was the first time something like this has ever happened to me or anyone that I knew. But basically, the story starts off with the friends that I have online. And so basically, hey, welcome in. What's up, man? So basically, I was out in Florida with a few of my friends. What's up, man? What's up? We had planned out a trip for a long time, and this group of friends, they're like online. Like, I've known them for, give or take, maybe I've known them since I was in middle school, like 6th grade probably. And, you know, with my advanced age getting up there, obviously, right? Middle school time, like, you know, I've known these guys for a really long time, like 10 plus years probably, right? Like more than 10 years, like almost 15 years now. You know, we met through, surprisingly, YouTube. It wasn't that we were content creators, but it was actually whenever I was really young and I was in middle school, I was really addicted to Minecraft and I really liked watching Minecraft content, right? And so I wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber. I think everyone has had that dream before, that they wanted to be a YouTuber. They wanted to do something online, make a living online, play games. You know, I had that period once in middle school. And so I used to play this Minecraft server called Mineplex. Not really sure if anyone knows what Mineplex is. It's like, what are those like yeah, I think it was our dream when we were all younger. Yeah, it was so the server was called Mineplex, and I don't think that server is alive anymore. I think that server is actually gone. Had a lot of memories on that thing. And so I started a YouTube channel basically playing mini games on Mineplex. Mineplex was one of those like servers where you played like Minecraft mini games. They had like a bunch of mini games like hide and seek, where you would hide like as a block and then people would try and find you. There was also like some PvP mini games. There was like a bunch of stuff, right? And so I started making YouTube videos on that stuff. And obviously it didn't really go anywhere because at the time at home, my internet was super bad. Like, I'm talking really, 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 really bad. So we had like, what is it called? The plugs that you plug into the wall, that like, it's not cable internet, right? It's the it's like the stuff that you used to plug phones into. Like, what are they called? DSL, something like that. I don't really remember. I'm old enough to remember, but I don't know what it was called. The phone line. Yeah, you know, like the wall plug for the phone line that it was like the internet would use like a similar plug into the wall, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So it was just really, really bad internet at the time. And so like I would edit, also by the way, terrible editing. I would edit like a 10-minute video, and that 10-minute video would end up being like 2 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes file size. And I would want to upload it onto YouTube. Well, my upload speed at the time was like 1 megabytes per second or something crazy like that. It was like under 1. Like, it was really, really, really slow because my internet was just bad. And so what would happen is I would try to upload the video to YouTube. And as I'm uploading the video, everything else in the house that uses internet can't use internet because I'm using the entire bandwidth to upload this video. And you know, I'm young, I live with my parents, I have a sister, they all use electronics with the internet. So basically, if I wanted to upload a video, everyone else's internet connection got cut off, and they didn't like that. So I couldn't really make a lot of videos. I would have to upload it right before I went to sleep because that's the only time that there was no one on the internet. And even then, it would still take 13 freaking hours to just get it online. And so that's a little bit of background. So I upload a video about Mineplex, Minecraft Mineplex, right? And it's just me playing Minecraft. Terrible video. I don't even think it exists anymore. Like, I think I deleted it, right? And so I upload it, and a few days later, one of my best friends, I've known him since 2nd grade, and we went through, you know, we basically were in school together and we were friends together all the way up until high school, and then we went to different colleges, right? He messages me in middle school basically after I post the video, and he's just like, yo, someone contacted me on Minecraft, because we were both still playing the Mineplex server. Someone private messaged me on Minecraft asking, hey, I saw you in this guy's video. And they started talking, like my friend and this other dude starts talking, and you know, I get invited to the call, and I'm just like, this is on Skype, by the way, the Discord did not exist at the time. And so I get invited into the call, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, you know, you saw my video, like this is crazy, you know, like there wasn't even like 50 views, you know, like this is so bizarre, you know. Coincidentally, we were all like around the same age, we played like a bunch of the same games because, you know, they also played on Mineplex. Like, what are the chances of that happening? It's like crazy, right? And so we all became friends. It was 2 people. So it was me, my best friend, and then 2 other people that I met through Minecraft, like through my video. And so we have a group of 4 now, the original 4 of the friend group, right? And that's how I met all these people. And, you know, over the years, we play more Minecraft, especially more like Minecraft factions and all this like other stuff. And the group starts expanding. It goes from the original 4 to like 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. And so we have a pretty diverse and pretty big group of friends now that we all talk to. And you know, some people go and some people stay, but overall, you know, we were all pretty close friends. We weren't super close to the point where we knew each other like IRL and all that stuff, but we were close. And so fast forward, we're in high school, right? And then we're still like chilling, vibing. We add some more people into kind of the group, and it's like an interesting experience. And you know, I'm still playing with that very same group now. Like literally 30 minutes ago, we were playing Deadlock. Not everyone is there now because everyone either has work or their own like personal obligations or like school and stuff. So the group went from like maybe 7 to 8 people to like maybe only like 4 now, 4 to 5, right? Which kind of, you know, that kind of happens over time, right? And I think as more people start to work and actually like have livelihoods outside of like games, I think that number is only going to keep going down, which is a little bit sad. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's nice to be able to still keep up with them, right? That's always like a good thing. And so the thing about, yeah, life happens basically, yeah. And so we have this friend group. We decide one day that we're gonna meet up for once IRL, right? Very luckily, most of them live on the East Coast of the United States, very luckily. And so we're just like, oh my god, that's really nice. That means that we should be able to drive to wherever we want to go, right? We won't need to book a flight or anything like that, right? Because that costs money, and we're like college students and we don't have that much money, right? And so we are planning out a trip. We decide that the trip is going to be in Florida. And the reason why we decide that the trip is going to be in Florida, I think about 6 to 8 people went on the trip. 6 to 8 people. And I think out of the 6 to 8, I think like 4 or 5 of them live in Florida or super, super close to Florida. Very, very luckily. And this is like crazy too, because we're online friends. We didn't really know where we live, like where each other live, right? And so it was super lucky that we ended up like it was super lucky that everyone kind of lived in that area, because it was super easy to go there. And so me and my best friend, we don't live in Florida, so we have to drive there, right? And so that's fine. It's like a 12-hour drive, something like that. It's like a 12-hour drive, not too bad. And so we're planning out the trip, and we get an Airbnb set up, right? And so we set up this Airbnb. It's a very, very expensive Airbnb. It has like a pool, has like a grill, has a jacuzzi. The place is huge. You know, it's like super, super isolated from other houses, so we can kind of be as loud as we want, right? And we really wanted a pool and a jacuzzi and everything like that, because it, you know, it would be nice to do like as an activity with everyone there. And we made sure that the house had like a bunch of rooms, so we weren't sleeping on like the couch or something like that. Everyone had their own bed. It was nice. It was expensive though, but it was nice. And the reason why we were able to make it so expensive, or we were able to fund it, was because we all kind of pulled money together. We were around Orlando, I believe. Because we went to some water park, like somewhere around there, but I believe it was Orlando, somewhere around Orlando. I don't really remember like exactly. So we set up this, like, what is it called? This trip, and we buy the Airbnb, like we pay for the Airbnb and everything like that. And it's super nice. Like it's super, 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 super nice, right? And so we all get there. It's like, you know, we're all chilling. It's like, we know what everyone looks like at this point, because over time, like you show pictures of yourself like as friends. And so everyone kind of already knows what they, you know, how they look, right? What everyone looks like. But this is like the first time we've actually seen everyone in the flesh, you know, so that was a super cool and exciting experience. And I think another thing to really another reason why we ended up going to Florida, and this was a pretty important reason too, was because one of my friends was graduating, I think, high school at the time. He was graduating high school, and so it was really nice because, I mean, obviously, you know, we wanted to be there for his graduation, right? He's like the youngest out of all of like our friend group. He was graduating high school, you know, starting to get into college. Really wanted to go to his graduation and kind of support him, right, on his journey. This was about a year or two ago, so not super long ago. It was a year or two ago. Because this particular friend is 4 years younger than me. And I met him in like high school. And so kind of where I was left off was so we're down there, and we're there doing his graduation stuff. That was like a big part of the trip. And so we finally get there at the house. It's super nice, right? Most of the people are there. We're setting everything up. We're choosing rooms. It's so cool. And the first thing we end up doing is we go eat, obviously, because we're all hungry. Like, there's a long drive, a lot of things happening. You know, everyone's there. We buy like some subs and stuff, and we just eat, kind of chill for a little bit. Because this is the first day. We're kind of all resting for the first day, because like the drive itself was very like burning. And this was like I'd say like a 4 or 5 day long trip, give or take, something like that, right? And so the trip is like really nice, and we're like trying to figure out what we want to do. The only thing we have planned out is a water park trip. Like we wanted to go to the water park for sure, right? And so that was like one of the things that we had planned out to do. So I was just like, okay, cool, like we'll do that. But it wasn't like the first day we were not going to do that. That's too much work for us. Everyone was just tired. And so we get some food, we kind of spend some time together, and we wanted to try out the swimming pool. But low key, that swimming pool, like it was clean, but like I don't know, I'm like, I enjoy swimming, but like the way that we did a lot of the swimming stuff, like we try to make it interesting. Like we try to play like games in the pool, right? This doesn't happen to me. I don't really remember exactly. I think it was in August. I think it was the first week of August we had this trip. It was the first week of August. But like, sorry. Oh, really weird. But it was the first week of August basically, and so we're like in the pool, and we're trying to like figure out what we want to do in the pool. And so my initial thought was I didn't want to get into the pool. The reason why I didn't want to get into the pool is like, okay, well, if you want to think about this, I'm lazy as fuck, and I'm like super tired, and like I just don't want to get into the pool, because once we go into the pool, there's only 2 bathrooms in the house, and I like to take a shower after I get into the pool, because you know how pools have like the water has like chlorine and other stuff in it, and it like feels weird once you get out. It's like, it leaves like this like residue on your skin and your hair, and so I like taking a shower after I get into the pool, right? And I was just really lazy. I was just like, yeah, like I didn't want to get in. But peer pressure is a hell of a thing, and we get peer pressured into going into the pool and just kind of vibing out in the pool. So I was just like, okay, fine, let's get into the pool, let's do something. And so before this happened, when we were out to go eat, my friends had purchased a bunch of alcohol, and let me tell you, I am not a big drinker. I'm not big in drinking at all. Not really an alcoholic. But I do, I can drink. I don't know if I can hold a drink, but I can drink. And so, we buy a bunch of alcohol, or, they buy a bunch of alcohol, and they want to play this game in the pool. So it's like some game where we set up like these rings in the pool, and then like you try to throw a ball into the rings on the other side of the pool, and whoever makes it into the ring can choose someone to drink a shot, basically, of like some high percentage alcohol, right? And we're doing all of this in the pool, and the pool is like freaking 6 feet deep or something like that. It's like 6 feet deep, like 6+ feet deep, like and it was like we were getting drunk, like we were getting super drunk, like we're drinking so much of this alcohol, right, while we're playing this game, that we're getting drunk. And if you've ever like tried to swim in a pool while you're like semi drunk, it's not a good idea. Like it's not a good idea, because you can barely even control yourself, you know what I mean? And you have to realize that I'm not an alcoholic, I don't drink a lot, right? And so at the time it was fine. Yeah, it's not a good idea. No, in hindsight, it really wasn't, right? But at the time, I didn't really think much of it, because it was just like, oh, this is just gonna be a fun experience, a fun game. Maybe I'll get a little bit drunk. But looking back on it now, we probably shouldn't have done that, because like everyone is drinking and everyone is drunk, and it's just like, if something happens, who is gonna pull them out of the water? You know what I mean? Like if you're in the water and you're drunk, who's gonna pull you out? What's up, Daedric Prince? How you doing? Yeah, we're just telling a story about how I almost died during like a trip to Florida. And so you know, you always need like someone who's sober, but the issue is we had no one that was sober, right? And so it was like, it was kind of like a terrible experience, right? Or it was okay. It was a terrible experience in hindsight, in the sense that like we could have had an accident there, but we didn't. So, you know, we got really lucky. Like we got really lucky that there were no accidents there with the whole pool situation. But that night, after we got out of the pool, and it was kind of cold in the pool too, and we're all like drunk. We're drunk out of our minds at this point. But you know, I'm still there like somewhat, and so we move from the pool into the jacuzzi, right? We took a while to set that thing up because we didn't know how to operate the machine to get it all set up. But we moved to the jacuzzi, right? And we set it up, and you know, it's shooting out the hot water, and we're all chilling. It's like a small jacuzzi, but it fit all like 6 of us, 7 of us, something like that. And so we're all in there, and it feels great, right? But you won't believe what kind of ad I just saw, dude. My bad. I don't know why there's like ads and stuff. Yeah, but we move into the jacuzzi. Pool safety is crazy. We move into the jacuzzi, right? And we're all like kind of drunk, and we came from the pool, which was super cold. Like the water was super cold. So I got really lightheaded because we're all sitting in the jacuzzi, and it's so hot. Like it's like almost burning hot. But once you got used to it, it was like fine. But I went from like a super cold temp to a super hot temp, right? Because you're going from the pool to the jacuzzi. And so I got super lightheaded because I've also been drinking. And so my brain is just cooked. Like I'm literally cooking out of my mind. And so I get out of the jacuzzi. I'm just like, I can't deal with this anymore. My brain is like fried. So we all go inside at some point, and I actually leave first. I leave first to go to the bathroom so I can shower first, because my whole strategy there was the earlier that I leave, the quicker I could get into the bathroom and shower before anyone else could. And I'm doing all of this while drunk, right? Basically. And so I shower, I go to my room like that I had, and you know, I get some clothes, I change into those clothes, and we all meet up in the living room, and then, you know, we eat some stuff, and then we're all kind of just vibing. But they don't want to go to sleep yet. They have some more stuff to do, which like, I don't know. They just had so much stuff to do. I think what your experience was temp shock. People usually do that to stay alert, avoid of all costs doing this drunk. Yeah. And so we all sit around like the table, and we play this like drinking game. I don't remember what game it was, but it was like, get a bunch of cards, right? And somebody would flip over the card, and they would read out what was on the card, and everyone else has to do it, and whoever is last to do it has to take a shot, right? And so, you know, everyone does that for a while, and we're playing the game, and I'm losing a lot because I'm just drunk, right? Everyone else is drunk, but like I said, I'm not a drinker, so I'm like the most drunk out of everyone, even though I think I would say I like only drank middle of the range amounts of alcohol compared to everyone else. And at some point, I remember just falling back. Like I'm sitting crisscross applesauce on the ground, and I just remember falling backwards, like onto the ground, like while I'm sitting on the ground. I'm just looking, like I just, you know, I was looking at my cards, like at my card, and I just remember like suddenly I'm just looking up at the ceiling, and I'm just like, how did I even get to this position? And I was just so drunk. And then so like my friends pick me up. They pick me up and they drag me to the room, and they throw me into the bed, make sure I was good, told me to drink like a bunch of water, because apparently that really helps with like hydration and stuff, because that's like one of the big reasons why you get drunk and stuff like that. And And so I'm in my room now, right? And I fall asleep. I collapse, fall asleep, fall over. I'm like gone, basically, right? And so I'm sleeping, and I wake up in the morning, like afterwards, and everyone else is still asleep during this time. Oh my God, you do not understand how freaking terrible it is when you have your first hangover. That was my first hangover ever. I got so dizzy. You don't even understand. Like, I wanted to get up from my like bed to go to the bathroom, right? To go to the bathroom and use the bathroom and get ready for the day. And I just remember I was walking and it looked like the hallway was tilted, but I know it wasn't tilted because it was me. I was tilted. Like, my whole body was just tilted to the side, but I'm just walking to the bathroom and my whole body is just tilted to the side. I'm so like, I feel terrible. I'm just so hungover. I'm so hungover. And I get into the like, I don't know if it was vertigo or what, but it just, I felt so hungover. Like, because something you have to know about me is that I've always had this issue with like dizziness, right? Like, my thing is like, sometimes I get dizzy really, really easily. So, do you know those like fairs you can go to with all those rides, like roller coasters and all of that stuff, right? If I go onto those rides, I will vomit. Like, I will get dizzy and I will vomit. It doesn't matter. Like, it could be a Ferris wheel and I will feel dizzy. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, even in a public park with swings, yeah, like the swings that children use, right? Even whenever I was a kid, if I used the swing, I would get dizzy and I would have to stop and I would throw up. I don't know why, but my constitution is just bad. I get so much motion sickness. Like, I just get so dizzy so easily, right? And so during my first ever hangover, that was the exact feeling that I had. I was just, the world was spinning, my head was hurting. Like, even just thinking back about my experience then, I'm feeling a little bit nauseous right now. Like, I like feel kind of nauseous right now, like just sitting here, like, because I just remember how it felt. And so I'm in the bathroom and I'm doing my business, like, and you know, getting ready for the day, and I just realized that I just can't. Like, so I wash my face, I feel absolutely terrible, and I run. I don't even think I ran. I think I crawled to my room. Like, it felt like the world was falling. Like, and so I crawled to my room basically and got into my bed and laid there, right? Trying to go back to sleep. And I look up because it was a bunk bed. There was one of my friends was sleeping above me. It was a bunk bed. I look up at the underside of the bunk bed and it's moving. Like, my friend's asleep and he's not moving, but I see the bunk bed moving because in my mind, I think, you know, like people, you know, when people have vertigo or motion sickness, you can look into their eyes when they're laying down and you can see their eyes moving, right? Like, I don't know if that's something you know, but people who experience something like that where like they're laying down and it's like whatever you're looking at seems like it's moving, right? That's your eye. Like, I think that's your eye moving. Like, if I remember correctly, that's how it works. That's their eyes moving, right? Because your body thinks you're in motion for some reason, so your eyes are moving, right? And so it just looked like the world was spinning, even though I was laying down. It took me more than a decade to get used to traveling on vehicles. But here's the thing though. Me riding in a car, me riding in a plane, that's fine. I don't have any issues with that. That's not a problem. I can sit in a car for 10 hours and talk to people and I'm fine. I can stay on a plane, even with a little bit of turbulence, it's fine. But whenever I get on a roller coaster or anything like that, or even just a swing, I get dizzy and I want to vomit. And it's so weird, and I don't know why. And I should have like medication for it just in case I do these activities. But I'm like really stubborn and I never do. But I digress. Going back to the story though, like I'm in my bed and I'm just like, my world is spinning. It's just spinning. I cannot like deal with it. My brain just hurts. It just hurts to be alive. Like it genuinely just hurts to be alive. And so I lay there and I'm trying to fall back asleep. I'm telling myself, I need to go back to sleep. I need to go back to sleep, because I knew if I didn't go back to sleep, I would end up vomiting. And the thing is, you don't want to vomit because who's going to clean it up? It's not going to be me. I'm still knocked out. You know, I don't want my friends to have to clean vomit when they're all going through hangovers too, you know, because we all drank. It wasn't just me. And so I'm forcing myself to go to sleep. I'm trying so freaking hard, right? And I just remember nothing from that experience. I just remember laying in bed and nothing happening. Like I just remember like the world is spinning. I don't even remember, but at some point I fall asleep. At some point I knock the heck out and I'm just dead, like to the world, basically. And am I always called a killjoy? Either I stay at home or they get used to me vomiting during traveling. Yeah, no, that's fair. And so I am in my bed. I finally fall asleep. Things are going well. Okay, I don't really remember much of it, but I know that I fell asleep at some point because my friends come into my room. They had all gotten up because this is a few hours later, because whenever I had woke up, it was pretty early in the morning, like 8 a.m. or something like that. They come into my room and they ask me, hey, we're gonna go get some food. Do you want to come with us so we can go buy some food together? Because we were gonna plan to have a dinner party or like somewhere at a Korean barbecue place later that day. Well, I said, no, I can't, because like I said, this is my first hangover. I'm so dizzy. I can't even control myself. So I'm laying in bed and I basically tell him like, no, I can't do this. Like, you guys need to go by yourself. You can't drag me into this. You know, it's not gonna work out. My brain is cooked, right? And so they leave and I'm tired and I fall back asleep. So I'm just dead to the world. I'm asleep, right? They come back, everyone's finished eating, and I finally, or before they come back, sorry. So before they come back, I finally wake up again. And this time I feel a lot better. The world isn't freaking spinning. I feel so much better. So I'm just like, I need to go to the bathroom and just get ready, because I wanted to take a shower, like a super cold shower. Hey Maple, how you doing, man? It's been a while. But I wanted to go take a shower, right? Because this hangover it was killing me. It made me sweat a lot. I didn't really feel like I showered well the day before because I was half drunk while I was showering. And since no one was home and I had all the entire house with me, right? What I did was, I took some clothes, you know, obviously I went into the biggest shower in the house, like that we were renting the Airbnb, finally, right? And so I go in there and I take a shower, and this room isn't mine, right? Like it's my friend's room that he's sleeping in. It's like the master bedroom. And so I went to the master bedroom to take a shower, and no one was home. And I finally showered, and the shower was really, really nice, and it felt amazing. Like having the shower while like the hangover was slowly going away was such a godsend. Like I felt so good. Eat a lot of greasy food. Yeah, see, here's the thing. We didn't really eat at all too while we were drinking. We didn't really eat a lot during that day. So it was just hitting us so much harder than it really should have, right? Yeah, it was pretty bad, man. And so we finally get done with all of this stuff, right? And so I shower, I get out, and everyone kind of comes home over time with some food and stuff. But it really sucks because I'm the only one with no food, because they all left to go buy food. they all left to go buy food. And so I have no food, right? And so I'm just like, damn, I'm really hungry. What should I eat? Well, I end up eating nothing. Because I was just like, I guess I just don't want to eat, right? Well, they asked if I wanted some food. Hi, welcome into the stream. How you doing? My name is Ren/Treat. Currently just doing a little story time of how I almost died during my trip to Florida. But thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. But they asked me if I wanted some food, and I basically said no, because at the time, stop yapping. Thank you, Maple. I appreciate you. I'm doing good. So I basically finished eating. Yo, Florida, how'd you almost die in my state? Yeah, no, that we're starting to build up into that part. But so we're like drunk, or we're like, everyone's hangovers are starting to go away, and they're all like full. They feel good. It's like they're finished eating. We went to Orlando. Orlando was where we went to. And so we finished eating, right? Or they finished eating, and I'm sitting there and I am starving, but also I'm like on a diet. Like I'm trying to lose even more weight. I'm trying to get fit. I'm trying to get that summer body. It's like August. You know, we were going to like the next day we were gonna go to like the water park. Like I was like, you know what? We're just not gonna eat. We're not gonna eat. And so I didn't eat, and I was gonna wait until like after that, right? And so we didn't eat, and I'm just sitting there, and we all sit in like the living room. And so we're just like trying to figure out what we want to do now, because this is, you know, I slept most of the day away, right? Like they were gone for the morning and the afternoon to like buy food and do other stuff, and I am just like done. I'm done, right? And it's already late. Like I went to sleep super late the day before, and all of a sudden, now that I'm done with my day, it's already late again. And so we were gonna go eat at a Korean barbecue place. I forgot what it was called. What is the Korean barbecue place called that we were gonna go eat at? Shoot. What was it called? Korean barbecue place. I'm gonna look this up. Korean barbecue place in Orlando. Yeah, Korean barbecue place in Orlando, Florida. It was a very specific name that if I see it, I will probably know what it is. No, I know there's a lot, but it was a very specific name. What was it called? Ichiban's, I think? Ichiban? No, it's not Ichiban. It was, fuck. What was it called, man? It's really annoying me because I knew what it was called, but it's like it's screwing me up mentally right now, and I'm gonna be stuck on this all night until I figure it out. All my friends are asleep, so I can't really like. No. I think Ichiban's something else. I'm thinking about something else. That has to be like low-key not good, but Easybon. It's called Easybon, not Ichiban. Easybon. It was Easybon Korean barbecue in Orlando or somewhere around there. You don't go to Orlando much because you have to go. I see. It's kind of weird. That's kind of interesting that you live so close to Orlando and all of a sudden you see this. Like this is such a interesting thing. But I digress. So we were planning to go to Easybon to have Korean barbecue, and to give a little bit of feedback, we've been there before. Like this is not our first trip to Florida. This is actually our second trip to Florida. We had another trip to Florida the year before, but that one was boring because we didn't plan out anything and it was only for like a few days. That one was like super boring. We had separate Airbnbs because we didn't plan that out either. It was like, I don't know, it wasn't that fun. And so we were planning to go to this Korean barbecue place, but we decide, since everyone had finished eating, that they weren't gonna go. But the thing is, I was looking forward to it. because I hadn't eaten anything during the day. I hadn't eaten anything. So I was craving that. I was craving Korean barbecue. It was so sad. It was actually genuinely so sad. And so luckily, we had a lot of food stocked up during the trip. And I'm not gonna go too deep into how we got the food. There's a little bit of shady underside dealings we did for the food for the trip, but I'll just say that we didn't end up paying anything for food during the trip. Okay. One of my friends had this little sneaky trick using a certain app to get food for the trip. Now, I'm not gonna go super in depth on how he did it because he did do it, but he figured it out and we had basically free food for the entire trip, like groceries wise, right? We would just have to go pick it up. Did you go for Disney or something? No, we just went. So we went because we had a friends. So these are all online friends, like all of my, like that I've known since middle school. And we met through like, you know, Minecraft and other different games. And we used to call on Skype, and then we moved to Discord once Discord was a thing. And we've just been friends since. Like I've known them for 10, 15 years. Right. And so basically, we have a bunch of food at home. It's a crap ton of food. It's so much food, and all this food is free through some crazy, probably really sketchy method of getting groceries, right? But it's free, and I didn't have to pay a dime. And so we had like a bunch of burgers and a bunch of other stuff, 4 burgers. And so finally at like, I don't know, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., people start getting hungry again because, well, whoop-de-doo, whatever they had for lunch has finally gone away. And you have to realize I haven't eaten like since the last day, like yesterday, basically afternoon. So it's been hours since I've eaten, 12 hours, and I'm still kind of hungover still. And we have burgers and hot dogs and stuff, and they grill it. Like one of the guys, like he works, like he has experience working at a restaurant, so he grills up a bunch of burgers, and that's what I ate for the night. And you know, I was just chowing down on these burgers. And so we finished the burgers, and we're trying to plan out what we're gonna do for the night because we didn't want to get back into the pool because we were sick and tired of the pool after the first day. You know, we were in there the entire time. Like we were so drunk the day before. Like we didn't want to drink today. We didn't want to do anything. Like we wanted just a chill night, nothing else, just a chill night. And so we were just like, okay, fine. What are we gonna do? So we sat on the couch. And we all sat on the couch because it was one of those huge long couches that could sit like multiple people, and there's like what, 6 to 7 of us. I think like some of us, like one guy had to sit on the floor. It wasn't me, thank God. But the house was clean, but it was like fine. So we turn on the TV and we're trying to figure out what to watch, right? And one of our guys decides, hey, Logan Paul is doing like a boxing MMA wrestling. I don't really know, like, because I'm not into that, but he was having a fight with somebody like on like one of these streaming services, right? So he connects his like computer to the TV, and we were watching that, like, basically. But it was like a really rough experience because we didn't want to pay for the streaming service that like it was hosting this like match, or I mean, he didn't want to pay for it, right? And so he bootlegged it from this super sketchy website that had like such terrible like reception. Like it was like so bad. So he bootlegged it somehow. It was like a live match, and like they were like double streaming it to like this super sketchy website, and it was like freezing the entire time, but we watched it. It was like super interesting, right? So that's day 2 of our trip. Day 2 of the trip went really well, right? Despite the fact that I didn't really like eat much, it was fine. So we all go to sleep at some point in the Airbnb, and we wake up the 3rd day. We were there for about like 5 days, I think, if I remember correctly. It was like 5 or 6. So we wake up the 3rd day, and we had planned out this trip to go to a water park. And so every single one of us bought this ticket to go to like, what is it called? SeaWorld Orlando, right? It's like this theme park slash water park. It's called SeaWorld Orlando. We were gonna go there. And so we all, before the trip happened, bought tickets. It was one of those tickets where it was like it was supposed to let you go for like the summer because it was like cheap or something like that. I don't really remember what ticket it was. Mr. Ren Nezumi, are you back to VTubing? I am back to VTubing. I am finally back and alive. Yeah, I'm trying to make this a little bit more of a consistent thing. I've been streaming these last like 3 days, which is crazy, you know, most streams that I've done in like a year. But so we go to SeaWorld. We're planning to go to SeaWorld. Here's the issue. SeaWorld is not a water park, aquatic, whatever it was called. It was some water park place. It was huge, right? And we went there. Maybe it was Aquatica. I think it was Aquatica, my bad. Not SeaWorld. I don't know why I said SeaWorld. I think I got them confused. But we went to Aquatica, basically, for the thing. The problem is, this is in August, right? We get there. And you know, like the machine that like we're all like set up. Yeah, it had the wave pool thing, like the huge thing where it makes like the waves, right? Well, we get there, and we're trying to find lockers for all of our stuff. Oh my God, they are pulling a scam. They are pulling a scam in there. To even go, it's like $50 something. Once you get in there, you want to put your stuff in a locker, right? Oh my God, it is a scam and a half. Those things for a big size locker is like $40. It's like $40 for like a big size locker, right? And we had to buy like 3 of them because we had so much stuff. Like all my friends brought so much stuff, so we had to buy like 3 of them. That was $120. That's just before we had even touched the water. Like we hadn't even touched the water yet. It was already like we're $100 something down. So crazy. And I was just like, oh my God, like that's not good, but at least we're here. You know, at least we're here. We're having a good time. Mistake number 2. I didn't bring slides to the thing, to the water park. And so I was walking around barefoot, and holy barefoot. It's the summer. You know how hot it is outside? The concrete, like the pavement, like the pavings on the ground. You know how freaking like hot it was? Like I really wanted some flip-flops / slides like for myself so that I could, dude, it was so bad. It was so bad. It felt like it genuinely felt like the skin under my foot was just burning off. Like it was so hot. That day was so hot. And it hadn't even occurred to me that it was a hot day too, because we were in the car most of the time, because it was still like an hour drive to even get there, right? And we were riding in one of my friends' like dinky car. It was like super small. And so we're in there, and we get to like the wave pool, the thing that makes like the waves, right? And on the big screen, there's like a degree thing. There's like a degree sign that shows you like the degrees of like, you know, how hot it was that day. It was 103 degrees outside. It was 103 degrees outside. We had sunscreen. I put on sunscreen. It was so hot. It was so hot. And I already knew that I didn't want to be there because I was just burning up. But the problem is, we've already spent all this money. We're already there. I can't just say, hey, I want to go back to the car, because we're there as a group, we want to have fun. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna tough it through. You know, I have sunscreen, we're gonna tough it through. So we're chilling in these big pools, right? And we finally moved to what is it called? We finally moved to some of the slides and the rides and stuff, like the big slides you do, like. And there was one that we wanted to do. Isn't there a place where you could buy shoes? Yeah, but we didn't want to buy any because it was really expensive. And like at the time it felt fine, because the thing about Aquatica is they have like on the walkways, they have little sprinklers that sprinkle out water onto like the ground so that it's like wet and it wasn't hot. But the thing is, a lot of the sprinklers were broken, so you had to play this like weird game of like running to wet spots all over the place so you didn't burn your feet, and you would have to wait there for a little bit, wait for your feet to cool down, and then you would have to run back to another spot. Like, it was so crazy. And so finally we decide to go onto like a slide or something like that, and so we're waiting in line for it. It ends up being a 30-minute wait, because in Aquatica they have two lines. Okay, one line is for the normal folk that paid for a normal ticket, and that was the super long line. The other line is the expensive ticket, where expensive people go first, because anybody in that line would go first over the other line. Well, we're college students, so we obviously paid for the cheapest ticket. So we never bought the fast passes, so we were in the super slow line, right? It was a 30-minute wait, and I had to sit there and watch the expensive people ride the ride multiple times while I was waiting. I saw one girl ride the slide 3 or 4 times before I could even do it once, because I was line gapped. One of my friends said, why don't we just all buy the fast pass right now, and so we can just skip the waiting? We're already here. Bro, we just spent $120 on lockers. We're not all gonna spend like $40 for a fast pass, each one of us. There's like 7 of us. Who's gonna pay for that? Like, be real here. And so, oh, it was so upsetting. We were so upset. Like, all of us, we were just not having a good time. But it's okay. But it's okay. You know, we finally get on the ride, and it was my turn, and I'm sitting there, and the ride was really weird. And the reason why I say the ride is really weird is because you have to get into this tube, and this tube has like water that's like rushing down, and they'll close the tube on you. And when they close the tube on you, the floor under you at some point will open, and you just fall. Like, you just fall with water like pushing you. You fall almost like, it feels like you're falling vertically down the slide. It's so high up. It's like 100 feet. Like, it's so high. And so you just freaking fall, and you just start sliding down, right? And I wear glasses, so I had glasses on at the time. And so I'm in the tube, and I see all my friends. I'm the last one up there, and I didn't want to go anymore because I got really scared. But I had to, because like I was about to get clowned, right? And so I get into the slide, and I am so dumb. I didn't hold on to my glasses. So as I'm falling down the slide, and the like almost vertically, and the water is pushing it, my glasses fall off of my face, and they're just gone. Like, I don't know where they are. So I'm fumbling around in, like, it's pitch dark. Like, this is one of those like enclosed tube rides, so it is pitch darkness. There's just water all around me. I'm like falling basically from like 100 feet up, because this is how like insane this slide was. And I'm just falling basically, and I have no clue where my glasses are, and this is my only pair, and I'm just blind without them. And finally, in the dark, just all this water, I start drinking the water as I'm falling, because the issue is, like, I was freaking out and all of this water is being pushed down on top of me to push me. I just swallowed just a gulp of just the nastiest water you could imagine. It was disgusting. I was so upset at myself. So I swallowed that water and I was like about to throw up. I was like, oh, this is disgusting. I'm like still falling too, and I'm trying to find my glasses, and finally I find my glasses. Like, thank you. I find my glasses before I get down to the bottom. I survived, but like I genuinely was like freaking out. Like, that was such a scary experience. And so they wanted to do it again. They wanted to wait 30 more minutes to do the ride again. I said, I'm not doing it. So me and my best friend, who was also on the trip, we decide that we were just gonna find a place to just lay down for a little bit and just rest, because they have those little like chair things that you can flip down, right? And so we finally go and we find one of these chairs and we're sitting down and we're relaxing. And I'm talking to my friend and I'm just like, hey, I don't have glasses, so I've never had that kind of situation, which is fair. And so I'm talking with my friend and I'm just like, hey, that game you really wanted to play, it's coming out soon, It actually just came out today. And my friend was just like, really? It came out today? And the thing is, whenever we went on this trip, my friend was the main one driving. And so he wanted to make a bet with me. He said, if we played rock, paper, scissors, if I win 3 times, we're gonna go home right now. We're gonna drive home right now. And he said it as a joke, right? Because driving back home is like a 12-hour drive back to where we live, because we live close to each other. But he said it as a joke. But I was just like, you know what? Let's do it. I wanted to gamble. So we played rock, paper, scissors, and I lost all 3 times. And we were just joking around, but it was like a fun time, right? And finally, everyone is done with their rides. We finally decide, like, oh my gosh, we're done. There's no more, like, we don't have to do this anymore. So the water park experience is done. And so we're gonna go to this Korean barbecue place. Where are you, North Carolina? I am in North Carolina, actually. You did guess it right. I am in North Carolina. Wow. Hello? Wow. Sure. But, damn. Wow. That got me. Back to what I was saying, though. Wow, really? That obvious? 12 hours? Like, it's wow. Okay, sorry. So we're finally done with this, like, what is it called? We're done with the water park, and we had planned out this trip to the Easy Bon Korean barbecue place in Orlando. And I've been dying to have some Korean barbecue, because like I haven't really ate well this trip. I'm so hungry. I am so hungry. And so I'm just like, okay, sure. Let's do it. We were at this like place for 5 hours. Let's finally go and eat something afterwards. And so while I'm sitting there discussing this Korean barbecue place with my best friend, right? One of the guys in the group comes up and he got a heat stroke. He got a freaking heat stroke at the water park. His face is red. He looks like he's about to collapse. He said, I'm not feeling good. And so we postpone the trip to the Korean barbecue place because he can't go and we want to go all together, which, I mean, that's fine. I think that's fair. If he's not feeling good, then that's fine. But like, for me, I was just a little bit sad. I was really sad because I was just like, I've been looking forward to this Korean barbecue for so goddamn long. It's been 3 days. right? And so we finally get back home, and nothing else really cool happens that night, right? And here's where the story kind of takes a twist. So the next day, our fourth day, day before we leave, we decide, hey, we've burned through all of our groceries. We've burned through all of them. We need to go get something to eat. So we order some groceries on our phone, and we ride to Publix or something like that, I think, to get some groceries. And so we get to Publix, and finally we're just like, okay, it's time. We went in there. We picked out all of our groceries. It was really nice. Sorry, I'm eating some grapes right now if you can hear that. But yeah, we're getting some groceries. So after we get our groceries, yeah, the Publix sub, that's what my friend got, like, a lot. I like the sushi there personally. It was my first time in a Publix too. I've never had their sushi before, and they had this deal. It was on a Wednesday too, so they had this deal where sushi was only $5 per roll or something like that. Some weird deal that they do at Publix. And you know, I bought a bunch of subs or something like that. Yeah. I don't know if it was a Wednesday actually. I don't remember what day it was, but it was something like $5 per sub or something like that. Yeah. Oh, I remember correctly. That was my first time at Publix, and it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. And so we get all of our groceries and we get some food, and like we're all chatting. It's like 4 of us because we had split up into different cars. All right. And we're all chilling. What's up, Beeger? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm streaming, but we're all like chilling and vibing, right? In this Publix for Florida. And so I'm just like, hey man, we got all this food. Let's get back, let's get back home, because it's like a 20-minute drive, back to the Airbnb from Publix. And so we pack up the groceries and we get into the car and we start driving back to the Publix, right? And we start driving back home to the Airbnb, not the Publix. Halfway through the drive, we have a truck. There's a truck that's like driving next to us, and he's in the lane that has to merge into our lane, right? So like his lane is starting to end and it's starting to merge into our lane. Basically, it's starting to like mesh over, right? Well, my friend doesn't see the truck, right? Because the truck is kind of in like, like when you're driving a car, there's like a little non-visible area that it's like you can't really see easily, if that makes sense, right? It's like kind of in that hidey spot of the car. And so my friend doesn't see the truck, right? So my friend's just continuing to go because the truck is a little bit behind us and he wants to merge in, and there's no cars behind us, if I remember correctly. So what he could have done was he could have slowed down a little bit and then merged behind us. But he really, really, really wanted to get in front of us. And so, but it doesn't work out. So I think he was forced to slow down at some point, right? Because it's just, there was no way, like the road was ending, like his lane was ending, like it was kind of starting to merge in. And so I didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, oh, this is just whatever, like it sucks that he couldn't merge in, but it's like, this is not a big deal. It's not a big deal, right? Wrong. This is so wrong. He drives, this is a huge pickup truck. He drives and pulls up beside us at like a light, and he pulls out a fucking gun. And I'm not even joking. Like he actually just whips out a fucking pistol and starts waving that around and pointing it at us. And we're just sitting here trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Like we're freaking out. We're just like, this guy is like shooting he didn't shoot the gun, but he's like, it's like I'm pretty sure it was a loaded gun, and he's just swinging it around, like pointing it at us. I'm not even joking. Like he's actually just pointing it at us, right? Like what? Like how does that even happen? Like genuinely, how does that even happen? Like this has never happened to me before. Like I've been in situations where people get super upset on the road, but no one ever just whips out like an actual firearm. Like that's not something that people, like normal people don't do that. That's not something you do. You know, that's just insane. Why would you do that? And so we're all just kind of stunned and frozen. The light's like red. Well, my friend just books it. He said, screw this. We're not sitting here. Like, he's driving. We're not going to be sitting here and taking this, right? Like, obviously we're not going to do that, because why would you ever do that? You don't want to sit there when somebody's pointing at a gun at you. My friend had to leave the other day from her high school because there was a gun threat. Dude, that happens too often nowadays, and it's genuinely the saddest thing ever. Like, I genuinely think that's so sad that people even have to deal with that. But like, bro, genuinely super fucking crazy. And finally, we get away from that whole situation. Like, he drives away, and that was like a really, really scary experience, because, okay, to kind of envision what we saw, to kind of explain what we saw, right? This guy's car, he's in a huge pickup truck. He's leaning out the window and he has the gun and he's waving it and he's yelling at us, basically, right? And it like doesn't help, because one of my friends, he just doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care. So he leans out the window and he points up the middle finger at the guy. It's like some redneck guy, like, yelling and swearing at us with his gun. He pulls up and he flicks him off. He flicks him off with the middle finger, and we drive off. Like, dude, I'm being dead serious. I thought we were gonna die, because I thought that truck was gonna turn around and like follow us. Like, I thought he was gonna follow us back to the Airbnb. It was so scary. Like, we got to like an off-road basically, and we booked it. Like, I'm talking like my friend slammed onto like the gas pedal, and we were going like 70, 80 something, just zooming down, because we were trying to lose this guy. Like, I'm not even trying to exaggerate this. Like, this is an actual thing that happened. Like, this is the most crazy thing that happened during this trip. Like, I genuinely am not exaggerating it. This is like, it actually happened. And yeah, you know, I'm glad that I'm still here too, and that I'm fine too, because, you know, who wants to ever be in that situation? I don't think anyone would want to be in a situation like that. But yeah, no, it was like so scary. Like, we got back to like our place. We were telling all of our other friends, like, oh my God, do you know that this guy like pulled a gun out on us while we were driving back to the Airbnb? Like, so crazy, man. Like, how does that even happen? But thank God, you know, no one got hurt and there were no actual shots fired or anything like that. It was very scary, but we got really lucky. Like, very happy that that was something that we didn't have to worry about at the end of the day. Yes, and this was still in Florida. This was still in Florida. And also, I'm gonna make a remark here. No offense, but oh my God, people in Florida cannot drive for their life. Y'all are reckless ass drivers. You are so reckless. We almost got into car crashes so many times, like in Florida. Like, I don't even know what happened. Like, we were driving from North Carolina to Florida, and in Georgia, in South Carolina, the cars were fine. But right when we crossed, like, we're about to get to Florida, the driving was absolutely terrible. I have no clue how you guys do it, how you don't have just so much, like, you know, so many accidents. Like, it's so crazy. It's like the driving is crazy. But we finally get back and we tell everyone this story. Like, we're just like, oh my God, we almost died. Like, you know, these groceries are worth a lot of money, because like our lives were almost lost to get these groceries. Like, holy. And we kind of just moved on for the rest of the day. We just kind of threw it to the back burner, you know, kind of a little cool story. But like, now that I think about it, it was really scary, because what if something did actually happen that day, you know? Like, would I still be here? Who knows? Like, that was like a scary experience. But you know, we kind of wrapped up the last day. What did we do that last day? We ended up going to this really cool, like, what is it called? Escape room. We went to an escape room on the last day. It was a super cool escape room, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. We actually completed it with like 2 seconds left. It was this weird escape room that like had like how do I explain it? It had this like, we were in like a submarine, basically underwater, like something like that. It was like a submarine basically. And in that submarine, like, we were doing all of these like escape room stuff, trying to figure out, decode all this stuff to get out in like an hour. It was like super cool. Yeah, the escape rooms were super awesome. But yeah, that was like a super cool experience. And then the next day, we finally decide to drive back home to North Carolina, where I am currently at. Thank God the drive home was fine. We stopped at like 2 different Buc-ee's, which I don't know if you know what Buc-ee's are, but it was like super cool. Did you get a sticker at the end? We didn't get a sticker, but we got to take a little picture. So my entire friend group, like, it was 4 people with me, because the escape room only had 4 people, and so we had a group of 8, so we split it in half. And so with the friends that I was with, we took like a group picture, and they had this like thing on the back of the wall that you could go to take the picture. Like, you know, it was like a little background thing, right? And so we just like have the, you know, we take a picture, and that's kind of our thing. Like, we got it printed out. I still have it like somewhere in my on my computer somewhere. Like it's somewhere there. I don't really know exactly where it was. I have no clue. But yeah, you know, that was like pretty good, you know, because we split the group in half, right? And so yeah, you know, we finally fixed that up. We finished up like our little trip, and then we go back home. And you know, the ride back was fine. You know, we went to like 2 or 3 different Buc-ee's, got a lot of stuff. It was really cool. It was really cool. I really enjoyed the experience, surprisingly. Like, it was fun. But yeah, it was good. It was really good. And so, you know, that kind of like was our little saga. That was like the saga of that journey that I was on, that, you know, we literally almost died, but you know, at the end of the day, we didn't, and it worked out. But it was a fun trip. First time ever in Florida. You know, Florida is a pretty wild place now that I think about it, but it was cool. A little bit more hot than I wanted it to be. Probably because of the time of the year. Did you go to Disney World at all? I did not go to Disney World. We could not fit that into the schedule, which is very sad. But it was like fine. We couldn't fit it in though. The year before, and oh yeah, so this is our second trip to Florida. The year before this trip, the second trip, the first trip to Florida I had went to with the same group of friends, but there was one extra person that came along. So my best friend, the first year we went to Florida, is the year before, brought his girlfriend, right? But the thing is, his girlfriend doesn't know any of us, because we're all like, my best friend is friends with all of us, but we don't know his girlfriend, and his girlfriend doesn't know us, right? So it was a little awkward. It was a little bit awkward because like I didn't know how to interact with her. Like, this is the first time I ever actually talked with her, and I had to sit in the car with her because I was riding with my best friend, so I had to sit in the car with both of them the entire time. And it just felt a little bit awkward because I'm just like, what am I supposed to say to these people? I feel like a third wheel right now, right? And it was even worse because like they're dating and they got their own separate Airbnb from everyone else. And the thing is, since I was riding with my best friend, I had to stay with him, or, you know, I would have stayed with him. So it's my best friend. Oh, it's an ad. All right, I will wait for the ad. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to un-ad. Like, I have the ad set up to have no pre-rolls, but I don't understand why like the ad still plays so much. I'm so sorry if you're still added. Now wait for that to happen. Intermission, I guess, from the story. Guess I'll just take a little break, drink some water or something so I'm not like dying. Okay, so the first trip to Florida, everyone who went on the second trip was there on the first trip, except my best friend had his girlfriend go too. The thing is, his girlfriend doesn't. Do you have a model reference sheet? I don't have a model's reference sheet. So interesting story on that. The model that I currently use is from my agency. I used to be in a VTuber agency that doesn't exist anymore, and I never had a model reference made. They just made my model, so like I don't have a reference, surprisingly. You know, take that as you will, but that's very interesting, right? A little bit tidbit fact there that not a lot of people know, but yeah. So back to what I was saying. My friend brought his girlfriend, but his girlfriend doesn't know any of us. You know, this is my friends, you know, we're all friends, but his girlfriend doesn't know us. Why are you using your agency's model? I basically have permission to use it now, like, because the agency doesn't exist anymore, and this was the model that I had whenever I was working with them, and so I moved to become independent, right? And so all the assets that I had, you know, I basically paid for them, and so I technically, like, quote unquote, have ownership of them now. So technically it is my model now. I just don't have a reference sheet because I like it just never was made whenever I was in the agency. But yeah. So my best friend brings his girlfriend, and then they have an Airbnb together with only them two. And so I'm riding in the car with my best friend and his girlfriend because like me and my best friend live close to each other, and so I was gonna carpool with him to Florida for the first trip, because what I was talking about all the way before was the second trip. And so BRB, I'm gonna call a friend, yeah, sure. And so I'm like in the first trip, and so me, his girlfriend is along on the trip, and so they both have an Airbnb together. I feel like I'm a third wheel in the car already. Well, I live in the Airbnb with them, with both of them, because like we just ended up, it just ended up being cheaper, like to have 3 people pay instead of 2, like blah 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 blah. So I am just third wheeling in their relationship, like, and they're like dating each other, and we're in Florida in the same Airbnb, and I'm just the odd one out. They're both in the same room, like they're sleeping together and stuff like that in the same room. I just have like some random room in the corner, like, you know, in another spot in the house. Like it was a fun trip, don't get me wrong, but it was so, like, it felt so weird because it was just like, I felt like my best friend like spent more time with his girlfriend than the friend group, which the whole point of going to the trip was with the friend group. Like that was kind of the whole thing, right? And it's like it was a little weird, and like even I've even talked to my best friend about it, and he's even mentioned like it was kind of like maybe a mistake that she had went on to the trip, because it was just like she didn't know anyone there, you know. So it's like hard to, like, sure, she could get to know people, but it's like you're always going to be a little bit left out, right? Because you don't know anyone else there. You know, I'm not crazy when I say that, right? Like, I think that's kind of obvious, you know. Like we didn't mind her, don't get me wrong, but it's just like it's just awkward to interact because it's just like we don't know, you know, that person as well, right? And it sucks because like she's also like the very proper type. She doesn't really drink, she doesn't really stay up that late, and so the whole point of the trip was we wanted to like drink and then stay up late and then like have fun and party together, like at the Airbnb, like the main Airbnb that everyone else was staying at, right? Well, it was hard to do that because his girlfriend had, you know, to go back to the other Airbnb and go to sleep, right? And so my best friend had to go with her, which is fair. I think he's a good boyfriend for doing that. I think that it was the right decision for him to not neglect his girlfriend and be with her like at the Airbnb that they had together. But the thing is, since they were going back to go sleep, I had to go with them because I'm riding with them and I live at the same Airbnb as them. So I had to go back with them, which means that, you know, I wouldn't be able to stay at the party with everyone else, which sucked too. But it wasn't that big of a deal because I've never been like a party person, but it just sucked, right? That was the case. And so it just felt so weird because I'm just third wheeling my best friend's relationship in this Airbnb and I'm just sitting there. And so the next day comes and they go to Disney World because she wants to go to Disney World. And so he goes with her to Disney World. And he asked me, hey, do you want to come with us? Both of them asked me if I want to go. Why are you two asking me if I want to go to Disney World? You guys are dating. Obviously you're going to Disney World because you're dating, right? I am not going to continue being a third wheel to go to Disney World. Like, come on. Like, you don't even have to ask me, you know? Like, I already knew that it was going to be a bad, like, decision if I went to Disney World with them because I'm just going to be third wheeling their relationship. And thank God I didn't go because they stayed at Disney World for like 6 hours. It was like for 6 hours they stayed at Disney World. And I asked my friend, you know, in private, how, you know, after the trip to Disney, and I asked him like, what'd you guys even do? You know, and he was just like, I don't know, man. We just walked around. No. Do you want more viewers and to rank higher on the Twitch list? I am good. Thank you very much. Thank you, bot. Ban. There we go. First ban since I started streaming. Yeah, we get those a lot. First ban since I started streaming again. It's one of those bots that just make you pay for like views and shit. So it's so useless. But yeah. I didn't want to go to Disney because like I would have to go with my best friend and his girlfriend, and I'm just like, I don't want a third wheel. Y'all are like making me go to Disney with you. Please don't let me go. And so I didn't go, and thank God I didn't. I just stayed home. I stayed in the Airbnb. I DoorDashed food. I found this really nice barbecue place and I DoorDashed food from that barbecue place. And while they were I don't know which one they went to, honestly. I never really asked. But while they were killing themselves in the heat, walking around, I was eating good. I was eating good at the Airbnb. I was eating so good. And it was like such a crazy like thing because my friend comes back from the trip and his girlfriend's like in the bathroom, like, you know, taking a shower and everything. And I asked my friend, I'm just like sneakily, I'm, you know, because it was a 2-floor thing and the bathroom's upstairs. I'm asking my friend like, hey, what'd you guys do? You know, like, was it fun? Was it fun? How was Disney? He said, all we did was walk around so much. It was so sad. He was so tired. Like, he laid on the couch and I literally watched him just instantly fall asleep. And it was crazy because we had another friend there who slept on the couch and we were all gonna have like a heart-to-heart conversation because we were gonna catch up. Because, like, you know, a lot of the people who went on this first trip hadn't talked or seen each other for years because they've been focused on school. They haven't really been on Discord or playing games a lot. So we were all gonna sit downstairs and have a chat. My best friend's girlfriend would be asleep because she doesn't really know us, right? So there was no reason for her to participate. So we were gonna sit down and just chat in the living room. Well, my best friend is on the couch and he's laying there and he falls asleep while me and my other friend are talking. Like, we're having such a deep heart-to-heart. He's telling me about his relationship issues. I'm just telling him how I've never been in a relationship before. So like, why are you even asking me? But like, you know, the coach doesn't play the game. Boom. But like, yeah, so we were just chatting and we're done. We finally get done with our chats, right? And my best friend wakes up and he's just like, what are you guys talking about? I'm just like, yeah, we just finished up our chat, you know, like our little catch up. He said, no, you guys haven't even started talking. And I said, bro, you've been asleep on the couch for the last like 2 hours. We've been talking. He said, no, I've been here the entire time. Like, he doesn't even know that he fell asleep. That's how much energy Disney sucked away from him. He didn't even know he fell asleep for 2 hours, like right then and there. Like, Disney actually just magically sucked the life out of this man. You don't even understand. Like, he came home a freaking skeleton, like a shadow of himself. Like, it was genuinely like so sad. He just looked so tired, and they spent so much money like on the trip. Oh man. And so I don't know, that's why I never went to Disney. That was like a super convoluted explanation of why I didn't go to Disney, but I didn't want to go to Disney because I didn't want a third wheel on their relationship. Basically, I was just like, if they're both gonna go on Disney and they're in a relationship, why the heck am I going with them? Hello? It's like, you know, like, you know, have you ever seen like like a couple kissing, and then in the background I'm just standing there, and then, you know, like, what? Like, obviously I'm not going to subjugate myself to that. Like, hello? So crazy, bro. But that was the first trip. That was like the most interesting thing that happened during the first trip. Not really much else was going on, I'd say, for the first trip. We didn't really have anything like crazy going on the first trip, because I think like it was our first time all kind of meeting each other, so we just kind of wanted to go and just sit around and do stuff. Like, we didn't really have like a lot of plans for this first trip, because it was supposed to be our introduction to each other. So it wasn't really going to be like a long trip, and it wasn't really going to be like super, you know, crazy, you know, out there, if that makes sense. You know, I'm glad we went, because it led into the second trip, and I think the second trip was super fun, except for the fact that we got a gun pulled on us, which was, you know, something, if you consider that something. But like, yeah, photobomb them if they take a picture. Exactly. No, that's exactly what I was thinking was gonna happen. Was like, they're gonna take pictures at Disney, and so it's just gonna be my best friend, his girlfriend, and then I'm in the background just standing there blank faced. Like, obviously I'm not gonna go with them. So from the last 2 streams I've seen, I've guessed the theme of the channel is Tales of Death and Madness. I just want to just like, usually I don't even plan out my streams, and I just do like whatever I can. Like I don't really plan out anything. But recently, like, I like doing just chatting streams in the middle of the night, because I can't mentally like play anything right now. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm gonna be truly honest with you. As much as I enjoy playing Stardew Valley, I cannot play that game at freaking, what time is it? 2 a.m. in the morning for me. There is no physical way that I can sit here and play Stardew Valley at 2 a.m. without my brain just melting. It's not even that complicated of a game. It's really not. It's just the fact that I have to play it, like, and actually think about what I need to do. I'd rather just sit here and just talk all night. Like, that's, you know, that's kind of my thing, right? But we kind of got through the story of how I almost died on my trip to Florida. So, you know, there you go. I got a gun pulled on me. TLDR. It took me an hour and 30 minutes to explain that, but hey, I like talking, and it was fun. That was a fun experience. I really enjoyed speaking about that. It's 10 a.m. here, so I'm just waking up to unhinged stories. Yeah, sure. I mean, hey, time zones are a thing, man. I think like another crazy story that I like to tell people is whenever I was in high school, I used to be in the on the baseball team, but I never actually played any baseball, right? I was just on the team as a manager. So I was the scorekeeper and the manager of the varsity baseball team when I was in high school. And I'm going to be flat honest with you. They sucked. They sucked bad. They sucked bad. Like, I'm talking. Look, I'm talking. My team in high school for baseball went 18-0, which sounds really good, right? 18-0, that means we had a clean sweep. No, I'm saying they lost all 18 games of the season. We didn't win a single freaking game. All 18 were losses, and I was there witnessing and scorekeeping every single one of them. It was miserable. You have never seen a team worse than the team. And the thing, and the saddest thing was, I was friends with every single person on that team. I knew most of them because they were all from the same grade, and we've all been friends for a really long time. But they sucked, man. Like, I'm talking, they sucked so bad. Like, our team was not savable. That baseball team was like cooked from the beginning. Don't even get me started on that. Yeah, the ultimate loser collective. It was crazy. And the thing is, like, okay, we live in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's just farmland, right? And the one thing that our school was known for was football. Like, we were good at football, right? But I didn't care for football, like personally. And so I never did anything like managing the football team or anything like that. I did baseball. And we also had a golf team. Can you imagine that? We live in the middle of nowhere and we had a golf team. Who plays golf in high school? What is a high school golf team? It's not even a thing. Like, genuinely, like, did they not just make that sport up as a high school team to get out of classes? Like, how is that even a thing? It like, golf. Come on. Let's be real here. Brantley, hi, welcome into the stream. We're just telling stories at this point, but how are you doing? Welcome in. But golf. We had a golf team. How is that even like possible, bro? And so a lot of the people who were on the baseball team also, they're on the golf team. You're tired, dude. I feel that. I am super tired too. It's like 2 a.m. for me. But yeah, they're also on the golf team. And so, you know, that has no relevance, but like, obviously I'm saying like this, like, our team sucked. And like, I was there for every single one of these baseball games and I was scorekeeping them, and these guys were absolutely terrible. There was one time we almost won a game, and it was actually super crazy because we were considered the worst team that was even in the season because of our stats, right? And so it was like we were like the worst team, right? But one of the better teams during the season of baseball that we were playing in high school, they were having like this you hate ads? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about the ads. There's nothing I can do about them because like I have them set so that there's no pre-rolls, and so you have to set a minimum amount of ads so there's no pre-rolls, and so there's no way I can get rid of it without like having pre-roll ads. That scared me. Thank you for the follow. I really do appreciate it. Welcome into the stream, Lofi Kit. I think I said your username right. My bad if I didn't. My brain is just completely off right now. But high school, yes. So during one of the baseball games, I think this was game 8 or game 9, we were actually winning. We were up like a lot of points. Like, we were actually winning, surprisingly, right? And so it was so interesting because I was just like, wow, like, well, this might be the one and only win that we have in the season against a team that unironically is better than ours 10 times more. You know, like, they're just so much better. They genuinely are so much better. Because this team like that we were up against, they were having some like senior night, some crazy event, and they were like super hyped up, super crazy. And I was telling my best friend, who is also there, right? And I was telling him like, oh my gosh, what if we win tonight? Like, we would just be raining on their parade. Like, our team actually is doing good. Like, we could do it, you know? Like, how ironic would it have been if we had won that game on one of the most important nights for that school? Genuinely. And you know what? I jinxed it. I freaking jinxed it. I genuinely jinxed it, I think, because we lost. We completely lost that game. Even the sheer power of malice wasn't enough. Exactly. We lost that game. And the thing is, it wasn't even that. One of the players on our team got into a fight with another player on the other team because he was like, thanks for the follow, really do appreciate it. Once again, welcome into the stream. He got into a fight with another one of the guys like on the other team. Thank you for the drowning redeem. I do need to drink some water. And they started punching each other on the field because what he did was basically the guy on my team, he was running for a base and basically he got body blocked. He was saying that he got body blocked by the other player, like, or got tripped up or whatever, like by the other player. And he got outed basically, and they started fighting, and that was like so crazy because like my team was just like, we're gonna jump him. I'm saying like, you're not jumping shit, bro. We're leaving like 30 minutes later. You're not jumping anyone. Calm down. You're not jumping anyone. It's not that serious. Like, y'all ain't tough like that. Let's calm down. And so, you know, we finally leave and we go home. I said screw it, like we go home, right? And so we finally go home. Like, we're riding this huge, you know, those like super big like white buses that are like, hi, welcome into the stream, welcome. But you know about those like houses that like, oh, and thanks for the follow, I really do appreciate that. And so you know those houses, like, or not houses, why am I saying houses? You know those buses? It's hard to explain. It's those big school buses that are white, that are meant for like field trips and stuff, right? Like, those are like the super big buses that like you basically like ride in. And so my coach at the time, he was driving the bus. And so we're driving back to our high school, and it's like a pretty far drive, right? Yeah, it's like a travel bus kind of. It's a pretty far drive back to the high school. And these baseball games go pretty late into the night. Like they go really late into the night. And so we're driving back. It's like 9 p.m., almost 10 p.m. on like a school day, because like the game usually starts at like 4 p.m. 4 p.m., somewhere around there, right? Kind of in between that kind of little section of time. And so by the time we're done, it's like 9 p.m. And it depends on the game too, because you can have extra innings if you're like tied up basically, and they can go on for a little bit longer. And so this game was like a back and forth. Like, it was such a long back and forth like ride, right? And so we got tied up really bad. And so we started driving home at like 10. It was like, yeah, like napping the way back was probably the smart option, but we got tied up basically. And so we basically got back to the school at like 10 p.m. And you know, it's really weird going to your high school in the middle of the night, like at 10 p.m. because everything is like, all the lights are still on, but like everything's just dark, right? And to put into it perspective, my high school wasn't like, it was like in the middle of a town or something like that, like normal high schools. It was in the middle of nowhere. Like, surrounding the school is just woods and forests and hills and like fields. Like, there was nothing around, right? It's like nothing around. And so we get back to the school and the lights are on outside. And I'm just like, okay, sure, fine. We get back to school and I get off the bus because we park the bus. What is going on right now in my chat? Why am I getting bots tonight, man? This is the first time this has happened in like a really long time. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we finally get back to the high school, like, and we park at the back of the school, like at the very, very, very back of the school, right? Because there's like a bus parking lot at the back of the school, and all the lights are on, or none of the lights are on, sorry. None of the lights are on except one that's pointing down straight on the bus. Everyone else's cars are at the back, right? Because, you know, they parked there. My car was at the front of the school because that's where I parked it at the beginning of, you know, all my classes and stuff, and I never left it. It's just sitting in the front of the school. So I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. We'll just walk over to the front of the school and we'll be fine, right? I was gonna go through the school because the thing is, when I say we park like at the back of the school, right? What we're doing is we're parking, like, how do I explain it? We're parking, so there's a gate surrounding our high school, right? And the baseball field is outside of that fence gate, right? And so we're parked next to the baseball field. So I have to get into the school, like to walk into the school, I have to go through that gate into like the school grounds. It was locked. I have never ever in my life had seen that gate locked. And this is pitch dark. Everyone has left. Even my coach has left, right? I know US is car dependent as hell, but the notion of a high schooler where the car is still wild to me. What is going on? I got another chat thing advertising bots, bro. No, I don't need bots, man. God. Okay, that's the fourth one today. Jeez. Yeah, okay. You probably didn't see that message that just popped up because it got instantly culled by Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. But it did happen. We're getting a lot of bots tonight for some reason. But back to the story. So I am trying to figure out what to do because I am in pitch dark. It is like completely, utterly dark, and I have to go to the front of the school to get to my car so I can drive home. Do followers only chat, no bots? I don't like doing followers only chat only because it's like a lot of times people will watch a streamer and sometimes not follow because I mean they just don't follow people, and it just sucks to need to follow to like type. I don't know. I don't really believe in that personally, but and like because you know I can just ban like bots. It's not no big problem. Yeah. So I have to try and get through the school, and so to get to my car, because the thing is going through my school is the safest way to do it because you can cut straight through the school, right? It would be the fastest way. It'd be the safest way. The school is like kind of lit up. All the doors are locked, but you can walk like through the school because there's this like little thing that you can walk through the school. You don't have to open any doors. And so that was my plan. That was my original plan, was just to walk straight through and be absolutely fine. The gate's locked. I can't get into the school, which means I can't actually do that plan. So the only way that I can get to my car is I need to go around the school. Like I have to walk completely around the gate in pitch darkness. It's just black. Like it's just so dark. Like that's the only other way to get to the front of the school. No, but like here's the thing. Like you could jump the gate, sure, but I could have gotten in trouble for that because there's cameras outside. They have cameras outside. And so even though like technically it would have been safer, right? I can't just jump the gate because they will check, like, and so I didn't want to like get in trouble for that, right? Because obviously, you know, I'm not trying to take a risk on that, and there was no point. And thank you for bringing up the phone thing, because I had my phone on me too. The thing is, I was using my phone during the baseball game. Because, you know, baseball, it's a little boring sometimes, right? And you're kind of just sitting in the car for a long time. or in the bus for a long time. So my phone was dead. My phone was genuinely dead. Like there was no way that I could actually turn on the light on it because it was a dead phone. Like it was dead. Yeah, it was dead. Yeah. So I'm not even joking. Like it was dead. And so I'm like, okay, sure. If it's pitch dark and I can't see anything, but if I just follow the gate, like the fence all the way around the school, I should be fine. The school is like, you know, the ground is a little bit hilly. It's really cold because it was in the winter. But it would have been fine. I would have been fine. So I was just like, okay, let's just walk around the school. And so I'm walking around the school, right? And halfway through it, I start running because I get a little bit scared. Right? I get a little bit scared. And so I start running from you know, nothing. It's just in the dark. I'm just trying to get to the front of the school as quick as I can. And I swear to you, I genuinely swear to you that halfway through my run around the school, because it's a big school ground, I swear to you that I start hearing footsteps, man. Like I genuinely think that I'm tweaking out and I hear footsteps. I'm not just saying that to say that. Like I'm sitting there freaking out because all I hear are footsteps. And like I'm freaking, like this has been on my mind for so long. Like my brain actually, like I'm literally sweating right now just thinking about it because I genuinely was so scared. Like I don't know if it was like a raccoon or like or something. It had to have been like some stupid animal, like either a raccoon or a cat, because we'll have cats and sometimes we'll have like dogs and stuff like outside the school for some reason. And I was freaking out. I genuinely was running for my life. Like I genuinely in my brain was thinking that it was over for me. Like this is it. Like this is it for me. You know, what do I do here? And I'm so happy that, you know, nothing actually came out of that. Like I'm genuinely so happy that things worked out and I didn't get into trouble or like was actually kidnapped or anything of that nature, because like, geez, I don't know. It just, it was just such a weird experience, man. Like I genuinely was not like mentally prepared for that, you know? I don't know. I think that's like the scariest experience that I've like ever had, like just in this position. Yeah, no, I should have jumped the gate like in hindsight, but I mean, I don't know. I also, this all could have been a figment of my imagination. Like it could have also just been completely imaginative, you know? Maybe it was just so late into the day and I watched such a long baseball game that I just weaked out and I had no clue what was going on, because honestly that could have happened. And you know what, it might have maybe actually happened. Who knows at this point? I don't, because you know, I wasn't mentally there for that. Man, I don't know. These are the times where I just sit here and I'm just like, man, like I'm glad to be alive, because that, I don't know, that was something else. Truly was something else. Who knows? I don't know. It could have been anything. It genuinely could have been anything. Sorry, I'm drinking a water. I'm also still eating grapes, but man, it's another crazy like story that happened to me like a long time ago. I'm thinking. Oh, I probably shouldn't tell that story, low key. That one's a little bit more personal. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's like the extent of my stories for tonight. I think it is kind of getting a little bit late. I think I will probably end the stream here for tonight. I'm getting a little bit tired, and you know, it's been kind of a long day. I'll probably end it here, figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow, and then kind of be back from then. All right, I think that's a plan. So I guess I'll see you guys later. It was a fun stream. I had a really enjoyable time just talking about like these stupid stories that I have from my life. I think it's like a cool thing to do. But I will be back maybe same time again tomorrow. Okay, see ya guys. I'm do a raid on someone that I have never raided before. You know, see how it is. Adios. Hope everyone has been doing well. Never mind, we're not raiding that channel. They have raids turned off. My bad, my bad. How does that even happen? My bad. You know, I don't know who I want to raid now. Let's do this channel that I see on my recommended. I don't know why they had their raids off, but yeah, no. Appreciate everyone stopping by. It was really fun. See you guys tomorrow. Have a nice night. Is Bob Ross up? I didn't even know Bob Ross was a thing. See ya.